Fun.
Because it was fun, and I was challenging myself. I wasn't doing anything I didn't want to. It was my challenge, and I chose it. I think that's the most important thing, that you
I'm gonna
choose.
take these balls to California with me. So it's cool. We're ready to have more of a chat. So I was just thinking about these applications. You know, for people that are watching, they've watched that first video, they see me having a bit of fun here. But I wanted to go further than that, like business owners and entrepreneurs like myself. We're also talking about peak performance athletes, or people that want to get in the flow state. I'm just curious some of the results, like with some of your clients, you know, from children all the way up to the gentleman you're talking about with Parkinson's. What are some of the things that people might experience?
Well, generally, I see the result is generally when we work with the hand-eye, the fit lights, the fun wall game, or the 3D game, we generally see better hand-eye coordination, and that's great if you're carrying your wedding ring to your partner and you don't want to drop it, or if you're playing sports, or if you're just anything in life. Second thing, using the focus band, the ability to shut the mind down, and then to know if you wear that all day, you start to get a really good idea what gets you and what gets you into the flow.
Oh yeah.
So it's a really good learning tool to figure out, oh wow, that person right here, a guy downstairs was doing some work in the yard and he was leaving an absolute mess. I went down, basically told him off, told him to piss off, and I said, well hey, why don't you just do your job? I came back in, I tried to refocus. I could not. I was done on that guy, and it really showed in my brain. So the ability to go, oh wow, that really kind of gets me caught up, and all I need to do is just breathe and kind of find a spot on the wall for a couple of minutes, and I basically reset myself, and it's a verifiable way of learning that. So
I just thought that how to calibrate, because I'm always with my mentoring and coaching clients. I'm always looking at ways that you can switch on and switch off. It's a muscle that I've worked a lot on.
And it is a muscle, yeah.
Well, Richard Branson gets up in the morning and he'll snorkel around his island for an hour. That's his morning practice.
Lovely.
He's got 300 companies, he's stressed out in his office, not necessarily stressed out, but he's sitting there, you know, he's talking to someone in another country about a project that's going down. And then he walks through that door. As soon as he walks through that door, chill. Glass of wine, glass of water. What's going on, guys? And he's really been able to exercise that muscle, so I think that's definitely going to be a practical application. And I reckon we have to let's just set that preference now, because you guys know I love the land of magic and miracles. Let's get Richard Branson on this gear.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to do that, but it's fun. I never know how I'm going to do stuff. Who are some of the, like say some of the clients, like entrepreneurs or sports athletes? What kind of clients would you love to work with?
People that want to challenge themselves, people that know that the mind is where it's at. Everything starts in the mind. Yes, you've got to have a healthy physical body. Yes, you've got to have good relationships. Yes, you've got to have a passion. But if you're taking care of your mind, if you're training your mind, you can see it improving. Versus, oh yeah, I read good books every day. Or I watch YouTube every day. So, okay, well yeah, but is that measurable? You know, you can measure how many books you're reading or how many YouTubes you're watching of Richard Branson or Brendan Bouchard or Gary Vaynerchuk or whoever they are. Yeah. But can you show that your brain is functioning better over a period of time, or are you just wasting your time? So it's being efficient as well as effective. Yeah, I guess that's what I would say about that.
I always love the playful, fun stuff, and I definitely think the practices that I'm doing are helping. But it's so good to be like tangibly able to measure them. Yeah, I think that's what I love the most out of today, like seeing the different things.
I think it's important for me that you can measure it. Otherwise, I come from sports psychology, and it's like, oh, well, I can talk to my child, or I can talk to my athletes. Well, sports psychology isn't necessarily, or peak performance coaching or anything like that, isn't necessarily talking to someone. It's helping someone can go, how can you get from here to here?
True.
And we have to be able to assess where you are. And if not everyone has an fMRI scanner.
Yeah.
So we can't all see the size of your insula or the size of your anterior cruciate anterior cingulate. We can't see those things. But we know by research that if you do mindfulness practices for 8 weeks, your amygdala shrinks and your hippocampus increases.
Yeah.
You better memory, better attention, better focus, and less angry.
And so for the guys that don't know that amygdala, that's your fight or flight response, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very much regulates your emotional areas, and if that starts to fire, guess which part turns off? The front part of your brain, the part of your brain that thinks and projects forward and calculates things. So,
So say right now, practical exercise. I want to get in the zone. I'll do it in my days where I get up in the morning, I do my morning ritual, and I'll sometimes visualize, sometimes ask questions. I'll get the frequency or the preferences of things I like to do.
Nice.
And when I get outside the box, I'm looking at what would I like the world to be like in 500 years time.
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
It expands my life out pretty big. And then I chunk it back down to now, so I get that sense of vision and legacy and purpose. And I look at, well, what is it that I actually really want to do? How would you say with your clients, but also with entrepreneurs? I think there's a definite skill set here to work with business owners.
Okay.
How would you see you can work with them in a session?
Well, ultimately, it's about being able to find areas where you want to improve and areas that are bugging you. As our old friend Tony Robbins would say, you've got to have leverage.
Old sport.
Yeah, you've got to know that something has to change, and I have to change it, and I have to do it now. Now, you might not know what it is, but if there's emotional things that are happening where you're finding yourself in an angry state, or if you're finding yourself in a frustrated state, it's all about the emotional state. And if we can train the brain to be able to go into that flow state more often and catch ourselves, if we become more self-aware, even if it's just say, I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes, I'm going to put my timer on my phone, and I'm going to pay attention to my breath. I'm going to pay attention to the feeling of my bum on the chair. And if I start to waver away from that, I'm going to go, oh, self-forgiveness, self-compassion, my mind's wandering. Bring myself back to the feeling of my bum on the chair, or my back on the chair, or my breath. So I'm getting this physiological body awareness. And I'm just going to do that for 5 minutes. And I might wander 20 times, but you've just done 20 repetitions of bringing yourself back into your body. If you do that 1,000 times, I get goosebumps. You'll get better at bringing yourself off of the knee-jerk thoughts and back into your body. So you're living in your body, you're not just a brain running around with all these thoughts going on. So 5 minutes of body awareness or breath awareness, compounded over 365 days. Different brain, different person, but with the same values and personality, but just better.
There's a buddy of mine you'd love to meet too, Steve Katz.
I know.
If you guys watching want to know, it's STEVEKATZ. He's got a place in the Gold Coast. Just because you mentioned Anthony Robbins, it's Anthony Robbins chiropractor when he comes out to Australia. So behind the scenes, if you go backstage at an Anthony Robbins event, there's chiropractic, massage, particular foods,
cryotherapy chambers,
all that stuff.
I want to get into that stuff.
That's what I'm getting pumped up about now, is that I've basically made a preference. I'm going to travel the world, I'm going to give my gifts, I'm going to do a bunch of different things. It's kind of my life, that's where it was kind of going many years ago. And I didn't like the traditional personal development. I found it so, I just kept feeling like I was butting up against things. I've been having that in the last few weeks too. It's what I've been curious about, how we apply this stuff. Because I felt like you're always taking massive action, you're always doing this thing, kind of works. But it's out of that flow state. So looking at, like I see in here how we can balance the two, to track it and then keep ourselves in that genius zone. But it's interesting because, say with Steve for instance, some of the stuff you're into, some of the stuff I'm into, he's like, dude, Anthony Robbins would love to know about this. That's what, I think one of the things today is like, we all think bigger. In terms of who we'd love to bring in.
Why wouldn't you?
Steve Katz is an awesome guy. Giro Taylor's someone you got to meet as well. He's awesome. He's got a thing called the Flow State Collective. Meditation and different things.
Sounds like I'm missing out. Or they're missing out not being part of it. We're all missing out.
That's the thing. They're all going to be like, hey boys, we're going to have these guys watching the video. And that's the thing. They're going to do it. Like I listen to Giro's podcast all the time. I'm always getting insights. He's about to interview Wim Hof.
Awesome.
And he's interviewed like heaps of guys. Like
I've done some experimenting with the Wim Hof and the focus band. It's some interesting stuff.
What happens?
Generally, while you're in that state, it can be a very stressful state. So you can see the left brain switching on, but I think as you get used to it, as you become more aware of it, and you're not going to die, you can more and more switch into the right brain and kind of just go flow. It certainly gives you a hell of a good feeling and rush, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
It's amazing.
I listened to it on what's the guy's name? What's that wrestler's name?
Ultimate Warrior?
No, I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, I was listening to one of his podcasts. There's this gentleman and they were talking about it. And I just like to apply things straight away. So I'm like cruising around. Joe Rogan. I'm cruising around listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, they start to do the breathing. I'm driving around in my van through Cairns and doing the breathing. All of a sudden I'm so lightheaded, holding my breath. I think the first time was like 2.5 or 3 minutes.
Did I do this while operating machinery, guys? Although I do use a focus band when I'm driving, it's all good. Getting the flow. Yeah.
So I'm curious to all the different ways you can apply this. I'm gonna hit you with some few questions because we're gonna get out of here in a second. But top 5 things to get yourself in that flow zone. What are your top 5?
Well, I think I've already mentioned one, and that is practice. Practice. If your brain is like a short circuit, it's like an electrical wire. If you do something so much that that wire, that neuron, that electrical potassium sodium ion goes in that direction, you've done it because you've worn the path. So practice, repetition. I know that sucks, but I used to believe in NLP, do an anchor, fix the problem. But yeah, it lasts a while, but repetition and practice so much better. Pick something that you want to challenge yourself in. You find appealing, you find enjoyable. Not everyone wants to play volleyball and get fit by that. I love it. So pick something which appeals to you, something that you go, yeah, I want to do that. And it might not be the thing for you. You might find out, actually, I hate it. But find something that generally you enjoy and it challenges you. And you can measure it. And they're probably 2 or 3 things in a row. You want to make it so you can fit it into your life, where it can be simple. I remember when I never used to vacuum the floor, and what I finally, because I had to go in the wardrobe, get the vacuum out, plug it in, I just learned to plug the vacuum in and leave it under the chair. And you know how much more I vacuumed? A hell of a lot more, because it was there. I didn't go, oh, it's like going to the gym, I've got to put my clothes on, I've got to do my thing. I jump on that bike, and I jump in front of the neuro tracker and I do it for 20 minutes and I'm done. I've only been doing that recently, as you can see. But I enjoy it. I'm challenging myself. I'm doing something that no one's done before. And I think the final thing is just to find out what your values are. Find out what you're interested in. Are you interested in being a leader, or are you interested in altruism? Are you a searcher of knowledge? Are you all about the money? Hey, if you're all about the money, you're all about the money. It's all good. I'm just saying, find out what it is what really drives you. And if you know what drives you, well then you can have that fit. Where I'm in a job that requires me to make the most amount of money possible, and that's awesome because I'm all about the money. But you put an altruistic person into a thing that's all about the money, wrong mix.
It doesn't happen.
So find your values, find a good fit, and find people that you fit with, and then it's all easy then. Off the top of my head, guys, but
I like it. It's just fun just to get those things straight away out. And it's fun too. I was going to ask you about how much of this stuff you're doing yourself every day. Just recently you're doing more. The physical stuff I've been doing a lot more. I have had some back spasms and I've kind of been shying away from doing a lot of physical stuff. But mentally I do a focus band meditation every day for at least 20-25 minutes. I experiment with different things. I experiment whether I'm riding on a bike or whether I'm driving a car. I'm not closing my eyes when I'm doing it, but I just experiment with different things. And I use the neuro tracker a hell of a lot. So I've got tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment in here. I'm not the guy that just doesn't use it. Oh, it would be silly. I believe in everything I use, and I train my athletes with, and my young kids and Parkinson's clients and all that other stuff. So I use it as well. Just be curious to see. Like, it'd be so fun to see someone come in once a week. Kind of like I work with mentoring clients, to see where they track and progress. But to use some of this technology once a week for 12 months and actually track the profit and loss statement, track the person's personal happiness. Also, I've seen two examples where people have sold their businesses, and prior to selling the business they were really, really stressed, and their scores were always very up and down. They were improving, but they were always erratic. This one gentleman sold his business, his scores went up and stayed consistent like I've never seen before. Everything that was on his mind, everything that was burning through his mental energy and worrying was gone. Same thing happened with this older nurse. She finally got rid of this thing that was draining all of her energy. She quit, she went out on her own, and all of a sudden scores are up and they're stable because they didn't spend all their time worrying, stressing. So it's even good just to, like the canary in the mine. If you're down today and you're normally up, I'm like, have you slept? No. Have you eaten? No. You're not taking care of yourself. So I'm kind of like a bit of a check, because it's going to come out, because I can see you can't get your left brain off today. Go home, get some rest, get some vitamins in here. That's just as good. I like it.
It is.
Cool, so that's what I love about this, all the principles I've been sharing with people. We come in here, we advance it more, we track it, we make it measurable. I love it, man. Like, I'm really keen to come and spend some more time here and do some more cool stuff. But for anyone watching, Cairns Sports Performance Clinic, I'm going to put the link below. Just really keen to promote more people doing amazing things. You know, it's been absolute fun to come here and check it out with you today, mate.
Take control.
Momentum Mondays.
Yo!
Bam. Thanks, brother.
See you guys.